All right, what do you got?
So, we're at Triple Crown.
Yep.
Last time that I did this was at AGA 2019.
All right.
I asked every creator that was present a single question.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the same here, because I'm going to put a little formulaic twist on it.
Okay.
Let us assume that I somehow have won some massive lottery,
Okay.
like in Kentucky, that $1.2 billion.
All right.
I did not. And I can afford to give you a 150-gallon tank,
Okay.
all the equipment you could possibly need,
Okay.
but you're only allowed to have one species of fish in it, and I'll pay for it.
Genus or species?
Species.
Okay.
Hyper specific. I see you trying to cheat already, Mike. I see it.
Uh-huh.
So then, Mike, of the Fish Tank Barn,
Yep.
what are you putting in it?
Cyprochromis.
All right.
I'll put a school of Cyprochromis in that tank.
All right. So we're doing some rocks. We're moving
Some
around
rocks.
inside these
Some
things.
rocks. Put a bunch of Cyprochromis in there, and we'll, it's kind of a lot of the Cyprochromis have look like saltwater fish.
Yeah.
A nice big blue color, and I think I would rock those.
Yeah, I was talking with some folks earlier, and one of the descriptions that I thought was most accurate is like, they're like the Bozeman of the African cichlid world.
Yep.
Which like rings true to my heart, and I think they're cool. I've got a guy locally that keeps them. I love them. I like your choice.
Yeah.
I like
it took me a second. I was thinking saltwater for a minute, but then I'm like, you know what? Tank like that, you can get a ton of Cyprochromis in there, let them breed out, and you can actually, sell the Cyprochromis too. They actually do pretty well at auctions. Don't ship well, but great little fish.
Cool. So, Mike, thank you. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Fish Tank Barn on YouTube. There's a TikTok and Instagram that randomly posted to as well. So
you're doing way more than I am then.
Yeah, there's 4 videos.
You're
on
better
TikTok.
at this social media game than I am. I don't even know what a TikTok is.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Mike,
thank you, man.
thanks a lot,
Been
buddy.
fun.
Have a good one. I think everybody knows our friendly fishmonger, but just in case they don't, who are you?
I'm Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com.
That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, Dan. We're at Triple Crown.
Yes.
Let's assume that Bentley has bought a lottery ticket in Kentucky and somehow come across 1.2 billion American dollar dues. And I have decided that every creator who is here, I'm going to celebrate. I'm buying you a 150-gallon tank with every piece of equipment you could ever need. And I'll buy all the fish for that tank under the stipulation that you may only keep a singular species in the tank.
Yep.
What are you keeping?
Well, first of all, you're a cheapskate. You just won billions and you're giving me a 150-gallon aquarium?
But I'll give you custom built to the gills.
If I had to pick right now, the fish that has been really, really drawing my attention every time I pass by it is the Melanitania garylangii. I love Gary Lang. This is my first time keeping this fish. I've seen a few pictures of it. And when you see pictures, you can't really trust them because oftentimes they're photoshopped and augmented in things. These fish are better than the pictures. So it blows my mind because usually the rainbows, when they have all those striations and things, they're pretty, but it's more about pattern than color.
Yeah.
These have both, the pattern and the color. So I was just thinking a few days ago, when I set up my display tank again, I was like, a big group of these would look amazing. So I can never make a hard commitment. There's so many good fish. But today, the answer is a big group of Melanitania garylangii.
And today, right now, I can buy those fish from you, can't I?
I do have them, yeah.
Oh.
Which is why I'm geeking out on them. Because how I tend to geek out on fish is I'll get a bunch of fish, and as I'm walking through my fish warehouse, every now and then there's a fish that every time I pass the tank, I find myself stopping.
Yeah,
it's just a natural thing that happens.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the fish telling me which fish I like. it used to be I'd look at a bunch of pictures of fish and be like, oh, I want that one, that one, that one. And then get the fish and it's like, well, maybe it looks like it, maybe it doesn't. But it's really nice now just to walk through the warehouse and there's ones I'm just naturally drawn to. And right now that's the one that I think I'm watching the most just as I work around the fish warehouse.
Awesome. For some reason, if the intro wasn't enough, where can everybody find you, Dan?
So I sell fish at dansfish.com, and what we try to do is we have some bread and butter, but we try to get stuff that maybe you've never seen before or stuff that would be meaningful to distribute. Right now it's somewhere between 40 and 60 species of rainbows, depending on how many have sold. We're rainbow heavy right now, some really cool guppies and things. I'm sorry, gobies. Guppies are coming next week. But, it's dansfish.com, but yeah.
Awesome. Dan, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
James is the brains. But
James is the brains?
I'm the goofball.
Well, shouldn't that mean that you're the looks?
Oh, I like that. I'm the babe.
Yeah, you're the face.
Yeah.
Ed, for the folks at home, if they somehow don't know who you are you and where can they find you?
Well, if you're in the Chattanooga area, you can check me out. Well, you can just check me out on YouTube.
Ah.
My name is Chattanooga Ed, and I'm on lots of channels. I love co-hosting. So I'm on probably about 6 other people's channels.
Yeah, you get around.
I just like to have fun and goof around. My dream was always, not really a dream, but I've always loved DJs. And I like being the color guy.
All right.
You know?
All right.
So.
Okay, so we're going to play a little game. Every creator, let us say that on Friday in Kentucky, Bentley bought himself a lottery ticket and won 1.2 billion American pesos.
Wow.
And I've decided to celebrate. I'm going to buy every creator present a 150-gallon tank.
I was hoping for a pizza, but I'll go for the tank.
All the equipment you could possibly need, and I'm going to buy all the fish to go inside it for you under one stipulation. You only get to pick one species of fish.
And you see, that's no problem, because I just do one type of fish in almost every tank.
Ah, see, we've got somebody who's already cheating the system. So what would you put in? Because now you have effectively an open budget. You can do anything.
Probably trout guddids.
Trout guddids.
Yeah, they're kind of a bigger one.
Yeah.
And so I plan on trying to breed them just for the points.
Okay.
And then I was going to give them away because I don't want to take a big tank, but that would be a big tank that I could keep them in. And so it's like kind of a score.
So what makes you want the trout guddid?
Oh, man.
Because they might not be something that most people would associate with like a super flashy fish like a rainbow or some big cichlids or zebra plecos.
Right.
What is it that about that fish? Because I'm in favor with you. I think they're a cool fish.
Yeah.
What is it that really does it for you on that fish?
Oh, man. I really love, I kind of collect live bears.
Okay.
And they're a big guy that looks like a trout. Kind of. And I love guddids. I think they're super cool.
So you're just sticking to your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Well, live bears are my wheelhouse. I've done, a lot of stuff over my 50 years, but
I'm supposed to admit that part on camera?
Yeah, well, I haven't hit it yet. I'm getting close. I got my first fish when I was 3, and it was a molly.
Okay.
So, and my dad, he, in the 70s, raised guppies and sold them around Kansas and Missouri. He also did Cory cats.
Okay.
So I love Corys too. But I kind of stopped live bears for 25 years. And then I kind of retired early, and now I've gone back to my roots. And I absolutely love it.
All right, so there you go, trout guddids, which I think is kind of like the underdog choice. I think it doesn't get enough appreciation, especially because it's a cares fish. It's something where you're literally helping protect a species from extinction. Remember, the face of the Tennessee fish mafia, the looks. Ed, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
So I have the brains as my previous guest just said, of the Tennessee Fish Mafia with me. But just in case the folks at home don't know who you are and where can they find you?
I am James of Fishroom Fever, and you can find me at Fishroom Fever on every possible platform that there is.
Cool. All right. So, we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
It's Triple Crown 2022.
Absolutely.
Bentley has bought a Kentucky lottery ticket
Ooh.
and won 1.2 billion bourbon dollars.
Ooh.
And he's going to celebrate by buying every single creator present at the Triple Crown a custom-built 150-gallon tank with all the equipment you could possibly need. And I'm going to buy all the fish to fill that tank under one stipulation.
Okay.
You only get a single species. What do you want?
That is easy because it's not only going to be a single species, it's going to be a solitary fish. Yeah.
One.
Yeah, one fish.
All right, what do we got?
Well, since you're such an awesome friend, first off, I want to give you a hug for buying me this setup. Secondly, then I'm going to come in for the ask, and that's going to be my dream fish has always been a blue diamond piranha.
Ooh.
It's a variant of the black piranha.
Okay.
But the dream fish part of it has always been to go collect one and send it back myself. So I think you and I go do some collecting. We ship one of those bad boys back, and that's what we put in there.
We're playing a little outside the question, but I like it.
We are.
I like
We are.
it. All right, so let me ask you this. Why the blue diamond piranha? What is it about that when you have effectively unlimited possibilities, just with the exception you've only got 150 gallons, so we can't go too crazy like Arapaima.
Absolutely.
What is going to make you choose that?
It's a fish that I fell in love with 12, 15 years ago. I used to breed red belly piranha and a couple other things.
Okay.
And that was just one that you can buy one, and you can buy a small one fairly decent. You can buy a larger one for $400, $500, $600. But it was always just something about going out and having the experience of collecting that fish, and taking it back home, and being able to sit and look at it. And it's a very aggressive fish. It's not like red bellies, 3 days that you can put in a tank together. It has to be by itself. They get extremely large, so I think that would be my go-to.
Awesome.
With a little outside-the-box ingenuity.
Yeah. I like it. We got a few people are starting to play with the question a little, have a little fun with it, and I like that a lot. James, let's put it this way: when's the best time to find videos from you? When do you typically release stuff?
So the best time to find me, if you prefer live streams, is Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern Time. If you prefer video platform, that would be Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Beautiful. James, thank you so much, buddy.
Bentley, thank
Check
you,
out
sir.
Fishroom Fever, because he's already breaking the rules.
There we go. I'll make room for that tank right now. Take care, buddy.
Grant,
how's it going, man?
let's assume that the audience at home is a lot like me and only recently discovered you or may not know you.
Okay.
Who are you? Where can they find you?
So, myself and my fiance Shelby, we run the Garden of Eder. We mainly do shrimp, but it's basically just we run everything out of our house. We've turned our pool into a koi and turtle pond. We've got 40 ponds outside, mainly dedicated to shrimp, but we've got some other fish and stuff like that we do. We do a lot of plants. That's really where the garden thing and everything comes in effect. We do a lot of aquascaping. We do the live aquascape contest at Aquashella. We qualified for the one in Chicago for $5,000.
Nice.
And then we're mainly known for our shrimp. We've got over 130 different varieties of shrimp, 304 tanks in the house, and almost all of them are for Caridina, but Shelby has been wiggling her way in with probably like 40 to 50 fish tanks now. And I got a feeling with how many bags of fish we bought, I'm probably going to be putting some Achilles fish in some like yellow King Kong tanks or something like that, just because I got so many of those. I think I can sacrifice some babies to get some Killy jump on her, because she's going to be trying to outbreed me, and I got some pairs, and we're going to be going at it in our Breeders' Award program at our club. So
awesome. Okay, so we're at Triple Crown 2022.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we're going to go into magical Christmas land.
Okay.
We're going to assume that Bentley bought a lottery ticket in Kentucky and won 1.2 billion American dollars.
Okay.
And to celebrate, I'm buying every single creator present at Triple Crown a custom-built 150-gallon aquarium, all the equipment you could ever possibly need to run that tank, and I'm going to fill it with all the fish you want under one stipulation.
Shoot.
One species only.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
It's got to be Sulu SA shrimp.
All right. Do you have a
They,
specific color pattern that you want?
the Harlequins.
The Harlequins?
Yeah, they're probably the hardest to breed. And Sulu SA don't do very well in small tanks. They need constant parameters. Consistency is key for them.
So a
I
much
almost
bigger
don't like
water
to
system
do water
matters, yeah.
changes for them, just because if you don't do it spot on within like 10 TDS or so, it affects baby survival rate, and it's just not good in the system. But you in a bigger tank, 150 gallon, I mean, I'd probably go 500 gallon Sulu SA tank if I could.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh yeah.
So, maybe a lot of people might not be familiar with Suluases. I'm very fortunate that I know somebody who breeds them, so I've kind of seen some of the patterns. What's the big difference between them and like your standard Neos or regular Caradinas?
So Neos are going to be the easiest shrimp. They take a wide variety of parameters, low pH to high pH, and for them, the widest range of temperature possible. Like in Florida, 37 degrees in the winter, we run no heaters.
Okay.
93 degrees in the summer, we run no chillers. Little shade cloth, still water temperature gets that hot. And the Neo Caradinas do so well. The Caradina, they need, most of them, some of them tigers, they can take a wide range of parameters, but they can't take the higher temperatures. And then most of the bee shrimp will need very low pH and 0 kH in order to survive.
Okay.
The Sulu SA shrimp, they need high pH, higher temperature. They're the only ones where I even put a heater in their tanks. They're the only tanks in the house that even have heaters. And constant 80-degree temperature. Okay. So you gotta heat the water in before you mix it up and everything like that. Where the Caradina, everything in the house is all just water, room temperature. So as long as the RO water's been mixing overnight, it's good to send in the tanks the next day, where I kind of got to do extra treatment for the Sulu SA.
Cool. All right. Garrett, just in case for some reason they missed it, where can they find you if they want to check out more, learn more about your shrimp operation, maybe buy some shrimp from you? Where do they need to go?
So we're on YouTube, The Garden of Eder. Our site is tgoeshrimp.com. I'm really about getting people into the hobby. If you have any questions or anything like that, reach out. I love chatting about shrimp, so anybody has any questions, don't be afraid.
Awesome. Grant, thank you so much, man.
Hey, man. Glad to have you on. Glad to meet you this week.
Yeah,
it was
dude,
cool to
it's been a
see you at
blast.
Rusty's. It'll be a memory I'll never forget, man.
With me running away from a thunderstorm.
I didn't see that. You're lucky there, man. I was too busy catching up with Shelby and making sure that everyone got down the hill safely, because it was starting to rain and it was a little slippery. And
Yeah.
I went to go get Lucas. He can kind of get caught up talking to everybody on the way out. We're all riding together.
He's
we didn't
friends
take
with
the
everybody,
bus.
man. He's
So,
friends with everybody.
Yeah, I was just making sure everyone made it down the hill, and Shelby had to carry my whole box of fish. She didn't even know I got Rusty's koi. I bought 2 bags of Rusty's koi, and she's like, "What's in this box?" Like, I just told her I needed a styrofoam. She didn't realize there was something in it too, until she got halfway down the hill and she had to be careful. And she's like, "Oh man!" So it's been a great time. It's been a great weekend.
Awesome, dude. I hope I get to see you again in the future. Tennessee Fish Mafia has really been representing.
Oh yeah,
Thank you so much, man.
yeah.
Hey, buddy.
What are we doing, brother?
So,
I won't make any noises.
I'm recording, damn it. You can come sit in. Welcome to conventions. All right. I think it's no secret who you are, but just in case the folks at home don't know, who are you? Where can they find you?
I'm Kenny E. with DaniKen Aquatics, and I am the president of Greater Portland Aquarium Society
And organizer of?
and organizer of Fishtoberfest 2022.
All right. So, Kenny, my good friend, we're gonna go into magical Christmas land, as I like to call it. Let us say, during Triple Crown 2022 in fabulous Louisville, Kentucky, Bentley got crazy, bought himself a lottery ticket, and won $1.2 billion bourbon dollars. And I've decided to celebrate by buying every single Creator President Triple Crown a custom-built 150-gallon aquarium, all the equipment you could ever need, and I'm going to fill it with whatever fish you want under one stipulation. You only get a singular species. What are you going to put in that tank?
Single species.
Single species.
Paratilapia miralambo.
All right. We're getting outside of my realm, but let me ask, out of everything you could possibly get, you could have thought of zebra plecos, you could have thought of the crazy RB line super whites that Dan's Fish has. Why the paratilapia?
Ever since I laid eyes on that fish the first time in my life, I've just got addicted to them. I own 3 or 4 of them now, and it's just been my fish ever.
Okay.
And if you, truth of the pudding, I put out the top 100 fish of the DaniKen Fish House. It was number 2, only by default, because I went first and the lady did. Or it would have been number 1. Instead, the Ultimate Angel took number 1. But it's just ever since I laid eyes on that fish, it's that fish that gives you that gooey, that bubbly feeling.
Yeah.
So ever since I laid eyes on it, I've always loved it. I've got a great big male, awesome 150 Biotel Madagascar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
And just so folks know, how big do these get?
About 12 inches. 12 days right here.
Big boys.
Solid black body with the beautiful purples and greens going throughout. Just gorgeous, gorgeous fish. So 150, I'd probably comfortably put 4 of them in there. That'd probably be about right.
4 fish.
4.
That's 4 times as many as James had. He wanted 1.
And I won't, was it a catfish?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch this video now.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, Kenny, just in case, let's remind folks, where can they find you? Where can they see you in person?
If you want to see me in person, we meet the second weekend of the month on the second Sunday of every month at the Moose Lodge out in Halsey. And you can come see me. I'm the president of Greater Portland Aquarium Society there. Or if you want to see us and can't see me physically, you can see my beautiful wife and me every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at DaniKen Aquatics. And then I also do a Booty Boy show with 2 of the guys we got here. Good old James and Ed. That's Friday nights at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern.
Kenny, as always, it's been a blast. Thank you, sir.
And so you all know, he's being Mr. Modest. If you want to see some incredible speaker, Mr. Bentley will be one of our speakers for Fishtoberfest this year. Be sure to come out and check him out.
I have a very special guest. Mostly because I finally got to meet you.
It's about time.
But just in case, for some reason, the folks at home don't know your lovely smiling face, who are you? Where can they find you?
I am at Carrie with Science Gal Aquatics, and you can find me on YouTube. I do a Sunday live stream at 4 Central, and I have a podcast called Aquarium Dilemmas that you can find pretty easily on any podcast platform. So that's where you can find me.
Okay, so we're at Triple Crown.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go into magical eccentric land, and we're gonna say Bentley bought a lottery ticket and won an atrocious amount of money. The kind where I should just be like burying myself somewhere in the wilderness and never coming out live ever again.
Yeah.
But to celebrate, I'm going to buy every single Creator present a custom-built 150-gallon aquarium.
Oh, wow.
All the equipment you could ever need to run whatever you want. And I'm going to buy all the fish you need to fill it under the single stipulation of you only get 1 species.
1 species.
So, Carrie, what would you choose?
Guppies. I would have millions and thousands of different types of guppy fish, hands down.
So you go for the full mutt.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So,
There's something to a big tank with lots of guppies and plants that it grabs my attention every single time, and I can just spot it, and I just love it.
okay, so I have to ask, why the mutt colony instead of like choosing a single like really awesome line? Because I've got my guppy mansion. I'm a very stickler on. I just love this one guppy.
Oh, I'm that way too. But
I want to know why we're going for the full on. Just let it happen. Find out whatever goes.
Because that was my first tank that I got to take care of all by myself. My parents let me have it in my bedroom, and I had one in each corner, and it was cold water. You get so many snails you couldn't even see the guppies, but that was what got me into I got to take care of it all by myself, and it will always and forever. I'm with you. I like my special ones, but I will always have a tank of mutt guppies. I just love it.
Totally going pure nostalgia.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Everybody else has gone for something a little more chase and dream. You're going back to the roots.
Yeah, it's just you got to have that one thing that's this is what got me in the hobby in the first place, and it's just I will always love that.
Fantastic. Well, let's remind everybody, Carrie, where can they find you?
Next, I go to the Aquashellas. I have Dallas coming up very soon. So if you're wanting to go to another convention, I'm always at the Aquashella shows. And then again, ScienceGalAquatics.com, Aquarium Dilemmas, or Science Gal Aquatics on YouTube.
Awesome. Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here.
It's been such a blast.
Yes, thank you.
I only just met you at Triple Crown.
Yes, I guess you don't recognize me from chats in your live stream.
Yeah, but you have, I think, probably the coolest idea for merch ever. So
I'm glad you felt that.
Dude, I love it. The second I saw it, I was like, that's genius. So we're gonna go with this. First, for the folks at home, who are you? Where can they find you?
Well, my name is Danny Weshy, but here on YouTube, Glassbox Hero. That's the merch he's talking about.
The guitar pick, it's great.
Yep. And I live in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
But here in Kentucky for this awesome event, right?
So let's give them a brief preview. Kind of what do you usually cover on your channel? Is there something you really stick to mostly? Kind of everything?
I kind of like to help the beginners. I kind of like to help give people a lot of the general basic information to get them what they need to be able to be successful in their aquarium. But also I make fun parody songs and stuff like that relate to fish. And I also have a fun live stream on Saturday nights with another YouTuber named Gina's Reef, where we just we talk about fish, but we also talk about birds and reptiles and a lot of different stuff, because both of us have worked in different pet stores, and now she still works at a local fish store, and so we kind of just talk about what it was like doing that, and just help share general information about a lot of these different animals and help just keep people be successful.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna go into the fun part.
All right.
Let us assume that while we're here at Triple Crown, Bentley squirreled away from the convention, bought himself a lottery ticket, and won 1.2 billion American pesos.
Oh man.
And to celebrate before he goes and squirrels himself away in the woods, never to be found again, he's buying every single creator present, a custom-built 150-gallon aquarium, all the equipment you could ever need to run whatever you want, and I'm going to get you that fish under a singular stipulation.
And what's that?
You only get a single species in the tank.
Is there... Okay. That's
Glass
the only
Box Hero.
stipulation.
Best merch ever. What are you going to choose?
I've thought about this sort of question a lot, actually, and I think, especially if you're saying a 150-gallon tank or whatever.
And it's custom built, so the dimensions can be kind of whatever you want.
I would want 200 chili rasbora. And a heavily planted aquascape. I just think that just having such a massive school of such a small fish, you'd almost get one of those Finding Nemo type scenes potentially, Yeah.
So okay, I have to ask, you've kind of described why, but you have these options. You could go really crazy high end, like sea replecos, or you know, you could go with some super rare. It's only been found in the wild once. But we're talking about a fish that is kind of common to a lot of our local fish stores.
Yeah.
And often, I think, because they take a while to really show their proper color, they get underappreciated.
Yeah.
So, why chili raspberries, man?
Well, I really like the color red.
Okay.
And those are one of the few fish that you get a true red color.
Yeah.
And then they have such fine little details on their body where you see these little bits of blue that come around this black spot that they have. And just the way that they move, it's just kind of like twitchy almost. And they're just like, they're so small.
Yeah.
That they only maybe get up to an inch, and that's just their maximum size. And so it's just, you can put them in so many different sizes of tanks. They're so versatile, and even though they are really tiny, they're actually really, really hardy fish, and that's why they're more common in more local stores and stuff too. And so, I don't know, they're just such a beautiful fish, and like I said, there's just something about having a massive tank with an infinite number of teeny tiny fish.
Yeah.
It's
Just sipping around.
and just constant movement everywhere, just going all through the plants and everything. I think that'd be a beautiful, beautiful tank.
I love it. I love the idea because I think it's way outside of what most people are ever going to think of
Yeah.
when it comes to a question like this. Because a lot of times it's like, I've got unlimited budget. I'm going to go hog wild and crazy. I'm going to buy this like $400 fish or whatever it may be. And you're going more like, hey, let's showcase something that we see a lot, but show you the power of numbers.
Right. Shows the fish in the best possible way you could.
Awesome. All right. So with that being said, let's remind everybody, where can they find you?
Well, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't necessarily hit a whole lot of the different events and things around the country, but I try to. I hit a lot of the Missouri Aquarium Society auctions and swaps around St. Louis. So you can find me there. I'm on YouTube as Glassbox Hero, and I stream on Saturday nights, and I pop out videos here and there whenever I take the time to actually put one out.
Dude, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you, man.
I love your answers.
It was
so
such
great.
a pleasure to meet you.
Dude, it's been a blast, and like I said, I think you have like the coolest, most genius little piece of merch known to man. You're playing on several things that tug at like little bits of nostalgia for me, and I love it to death. I think it's genius.
Well, thank you very much.
Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you.